Well, in the past week, the Trump-Epstein situation has continued to heat up. For one, the Wall Street Journal reported that the president once wrote a bawdy letter to commemorate the 50th birthday of the world's foremost child sex criminal, which, who among us, right? This letter was typed inside of a hand-drawn sexy lady silhouette with Trump's signature for pubic hair. It referred to them both as enigmas, and it concluded with, "May every day be another wonderful secret," which, shoo-wee. I really think that Trump could have gifted him a lifetime membership to a Japanese used panties of the month club, and it wouldn't have been much more gross than that, right? But Trump says it ain't even real, and he's not the only one. Celebrated smush brain bitch Laura Loomer said, everybody knows Trump doesn't type. He writes letters in big black Sharpie. Right? I love that one of the best defenses of Trump here is like, oh, that can't be there. Everybody knows our president writes like a mouth-breathing middle schooler, right? And I'm sure he does, but still, you know, this was 2 decades ago. Maybe Trump was better at thinking and wording and shit back then. Maybe it's a savant situation. Like, you know, there's people with developmental disabilities that can still draw a picture-perfect island of Manhattan or whatever. Well, maybe Trump is like that, but with being a creepy bag of shit. I don't know. But either way, it's a bad look, and it wasn't the only one. Right? There were other stories, like the New York Times reported Trump once had a calendar girl party and only invited Epstein, which, dude, if you throw a private pervert party and only invite one other dude, it's because that dude is your #1 favorite pervert. That's the only explanation. But it's just bad look after bad look, and the administration is desperate for some kind of distraction. You know, like out of nowhere, they just released countless MLK files, I guess, because they were like, what, they want files? You want files? These are files. These also are files. Just take these files, right? It's like, what does that have to do with anything? It's like if you demanded an explanation from someone and they were like, okay, fine, I'll explain. Look, here's the thing. And then they hand you a picture of the orange rock guy from Fantastic Four and just walk away. It's like, it's ridiculous. You could tell Team Trump is desperate for something to stick because they're going back to chapter 1 of their old playbook, the thing that put them on the map in the first place, making shit up about Obama. They trotted Tulsi Gabbard's crazy ass out there to say a bunch of convoluted shit about, we got this deep state memo and it's got different words on it than this other deep state memo from 9 years ago. This was that you pointed, ergo vis-a-vis, the only conclusion to draw, Barack Obama will pay for these crimes. It's like, what was that? Like, you could just tell they're just throwing anything at the wall and hoping something sticks. And conservative media is trying to help. I turned on Fox News this morning. The Chiron said, Hunter Biden's wiener, a retrospective. So they're doing their part, and the Teflon Don playbook is in full effect. And God, I just hope it don't work this time, man. I do. Like, y'all remember how like renowned fiddle papa Charlie Daniels used to tweet, Benghazi ain't going away every day of his life until he died? Yeah, well, that was dumb. But I do hope that the internet brings a similar energy to this time around, though, because where Charlie and Benghazi was a old man yells at digital cloud situation, this is a righteous demand for accountability by the fed up populace of a flatlining democracy. So, you know, you gotta keep the heat turned up. All right, YouTube, we got more in just a second, but I want to let you know that this week's video is once again brought to you by the good folks at Private Internet Access, the world's most trusted VPN provider with over 30 million downloads. Listen, you can't just be out here in the internet streets without a VPN nowadays. It's not wise. There's a lot of reasons to have one, but here's a fun reason for it. You know, Netflix has different catalogs in different countries. Some of them you might like better than others, but you can't access that catalog if you're not in that country, except if you use PI's VPNs, they can make it appear as though you're logging on from any country on earth, and you can see their Netflix. How about that? There's more serious reasons too. It's troubled times out here online. All right, there's all these shady hacker and scammer types who want your data, and PIA's VPNs encrypt your IP address and hide your internet connection, thus shielding you and your precious data from the prying eyes of these nefarious bad actors out here in the internet world. All right, their VPNs are available across all platforms, and now you can use one PIA account to safeguard all of your devices. That's right, I got every device in my household on my PIA account, and it works like a charm. So if that sounds good to you, here's what you do. You can scan that QR code there or click the link in the description below to try PIA today for 83% off with 4 months free. That's right, signing up always includes 24/7 customer support and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what more do you need to hear? If you think it sounds too technical for you, it's not. Look, there it is. That's the app. There's the button. You just push the button, and just like that, it's on. That's it. Couldn't be easier. So try Private Internet Access today. All right, YouTube, and we're back. Yeah, if my hair, facial hair, anything looks a little bit different to you from just a second ago, don't worry about it. Now, this is crazy time, man, all this Trump-Epstein stuff. I do think it's funny to think about Trump's PR people, if he even still has those dedicated PR people. I mean, I'm sure he does. They're probably the hardest working people on earth. But those people, when they first heard that the Wall Street Journal story was about to break, they're like, so what is it? What's the story? Okay, so he All right, so he wrote a handwritten letter, or a typed, okay, he wrote a letter to Jeffrey Epstein for his birthday. Okay, well that's less than ideal, but it's not like that letter was so egregiously lascivious as to be almost comical if it wasn't stomach churning, right? It's not like that, right? It's not like that, right? What? Like, it's absolutely, you couldn't have devised a worse sounding horn dog letter to have come from that man in that situation. It's also the thing that Laura Loomer said, because I left out the part where she said, she didn't just say like, oh no, he doesn't type letters, he writes them out in big black Sharpie, right? And she goes, trust me, I know. That's what she said, which was definitely said with a little wank, I think, what she's doing. So I just picture Laura Loomer sitting in some White House staff meeting, just, thinking racist stuff like she does. Think she gets paid to do that, not 100% sure. But anyway, she's just sitting there thinking dumb things. And all of a sudden, this like crumpled up piece of White House stationery just like smacks against her head. She looks down, she picks it up, she uncrumples it, and it says, "You give suck? Check yes or no." Big block Sharpie letters, and at the bottom it says, "From the desk of President Donald J. Trump." That's how I imagine that went down. That's how their correspondence works. But everybody's lost their minds right now. It's funny also how it's infuriating is what it is, but also kind of funny the way that the congressional Republicans have opted to handle it. You never believe this when faced with a litany of options in terms of paths forward. They decided to go with do nothing, which I know is surprising and so very unlike them. But yes, what they did specifically is they called their summer recess early just so they wouldn't be forced to vote on whether or not to release the Epstein files, which is pretty hilarious to me. The idea that they think that that's saving face somehow, that it's not essentially doing the same thing. They're like, well, we're not saying we don't want to release them. We're just saying we'll do literally anything in our power to keep from being forced to state on the record whether or not we want to release them. That's not the same thing as saying we don't want. That doesn't mean we don't want them to be. That we just don't want to have to answer that question for anyone. But the answer could be what you want it to be. You don't know because we refuse to answer it. So it's not the same thing. You don't write in the paper that that's the same thing, because that's not the same thing. Okay, it's not. Oh my God, the effect that the ripple effects this man has on the entirety of the American government is truly insane. And not just American government, but also apparently American culture. Last little note here at the end, I guess, rest in peace to the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which seems to have been a victim of Trump's malice, or if not Trump's malice directly, but the malice of billionaire sycophants who want to curry the favor of Donald Trump or something akin to that. But it's dark days indeed, man. I thought, what happened to free speech? I thought these people were free speech absolutists. Yeah, meanwhile, but they're like, he doesn't, they're all dunking, popping champagne bottles just because Colbert agrees with them. Stephen Colbert, one of the best comedic minds of the past 20-something years, has been called a hack and unfunny just because he doesn't agree with them. Meanwhile, they make Greg Gutfeld the highest rated voice in late night comedy, and it shows you pretty much everything you need to know about both, I guess, their intellectual integrity, but also their sense of humor, because Jesus Christ. Anyway, Colbert will be fine at the end of the day. I'm sure the people that work for him will too, but I don't love what it has to say about this country, so that makes it fit in just perfect. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll put the things up here as always. Watch the special Trash Dad. If you haven't watched it already, watch it, please. Subscribe to the channel. You see these cooking videos, stand-up clips, podcasts. And then importantly, the other one's TraeCrowder.com. It's got my tour dates on it where I do stand-up comedy live and in person. Check them out. If I'm coming near you, get a ticket, come see me. It's a fun time. Either way, if you keep watching these, I'll keep making them. And I love you like chicken. Hang in there, everybody. See you. Bye.